All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the test stream of Rust Rivals Castle Siege. I'm Argyle Alligator here with Sam Ritchie as my co-host.
Hello.
We're going to run down this thing and see how it goes. But basically, let's go over some of the rules here real quick, Sam. Would you
Yes.
enlighten us on this?
Yes. So basically, Castle Siege is a game of attacking and defending, and the defenders are tasked with protecting the castle, as you see on the screen, the castle's tool cupboard, and the attackers must go in to that castle, breach it, and destroy that tool cupboard to win. The attackers only have primitive weapons, and they also heavily outnumber the defenders, but the defenders might be fewer in numbers, but they've got better firepower. They've got some P250s, they've got some shotguns, which should balance it out a bit, because the hope is there's going to be a 1-to-3 ratio with the players. So there'll be, say, there's 10 players on the defending team, there'll be 30 attackers. There'll be 30 minutes, and if the tool cupboard isn't destroyed after 30 minutes, we activate overtime, and overtime is pretty cool, actually. So there is a damage multiplier only on building blocks, I guess. So, for example, after a few minutes, you might be able to one-shot a wall or a door. It's usually about 10 minutes, I think, for that. The person who destroys the defender's tool cupboard will win up to $20 in skins, and we're going to be doing more than one round of it. So if you don't get in this one, don't worry, because you should be able to get into the next one. And yeah, Argyle, if you want to tell them how to join, I will put up the graphic, which will explain that.
Yes, as you can see, the graphic coming up right now is the Connect to Play server IP right down there. You can just go ahead and join through that, and you can get in. It may be metered a bit as we're trying to get everybody in here. This is a process that we're going through. Please bear with us, but it's going to be fun, and we want everyone to have a great time. Today, though, you can see these sweeping overhead views of the castle. This is the castle that Sam mentioned that they were going to siege here. This castle is manned, I think, about by 20-ish defenders versus 60-ish attackers or something along those numbers.
That's the hope. I think the numbers are a little bit skewed because
They
we're
might
trying
be.
to keep it content creator friendly on the defending team.
Yes, there are some content creators over on the defending team, some notable names as Sai Sin. We've got some others coming in here right now. Can we get
Yes,
a
we are
sweeping
actually
shot of
live
the?
with the. I'm going to mix in now, and we
Here we
are
go.
going. We're actually on the move.
Okay, so the battle's underway, Sam.
Yes, the battle is underway.
It's already started. Here's the top-down view, ladies and gentlemen. You can see all of the names of the participants. The purple is the attacking team, and the dark blue is the defending team. You can see that there's already some probing going on here. They've sent out some scouts, it looks like, on the attacking side. Can we get some shots in here? Look, they're coming in some horses. Looks like we've got some rockets going out already here. I think they're just trying to test the defenses, see what's going on.
Fire arrows. They're using fire arrows, the attackers.
Fire arrows, excuse me. Sometimes they look different. Yes, this is an EU server here. So, as we can see, a lot of horses just being left here in the field. I think these men are completely abandoning their horses to try to barrel through that wooden main gate. It looks like we've got a substantial fire starting down there.
Yes. We've got quite a few defenders on the front rampart, and they're doing a good job. But because of the sheer number of attackers, it's quite difficult for them to stop them from flaming down that entrance.
It is. It's going to be a difficult task, and it looks like a few of the defenders on the ramparts here are literally just trying to take out as many as they can to stop this raging fire as the gate goes down, flamethrowers in hand. Some horses, unfortunately, suffering death via burning, but
yes.
You know, it's an acceptable loss, and wow, it looks like a stable just on fire down there. Yeah. Absolutely a crime against humanity, or horsemanity, rather.
Yeah, it kind of seems like everyone's sticking to the fire arrows. They do have access to flamethrowers, which is how they're getting through the front door. And someone's got voice chat turned on, which maybe not the best idea.
It's rust. It's rust.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, a lot of the defenders are just rushing the front. I thought there might be a bit more to it, but it seems like they're just rushing the front.
Yeah, I assume that there would be some raid tower shenanigans, maybe like a detachment trying to climb around the back or something. I mean, we can see Mr. Kiwi over there on the bottom end. We can see Joe Jesse coming up on the side. But it looks like they are just full on through the middle, trying to get up here, some Helm's Deep style, if you will.
Yes, yeah, they're just pushing through the center.
It's working for them. I mean, the defenders seem to be overwhelmed by this just rush of mounted flamethrower men and fire arrow, relentless attack going on.
Yeah, they're just flaming their way through. The defenders are kind of, they don't really know what to do. I wonder what they're doing on the inside, if we could get a little look on the inside of the castle. It looks as though they're a little bit overwhelmed, if I'm honest. There's still shotgun traps though. The shotgun traps are stopping the onslaught of players entering the castle.
Yeah, it looks as they're coming through here. There's a name for this part of the castle, and I might be not up on my castle terms, but is it a portcullis?
I'm not sure. I kind of know the ramparts, and I kind of know the turrets at the side, but I don't know the name for that.
This little kind of airlock area that they're pushing into definitely has a name. I think it's a portcullis, but I could be wrong. Either way, they're pushing through it. There's fire going everywhere. As you can see, there's these little windows that they have where the defenders can shoot through because the wooden gate stops and it turns into this kind of stone corridor that they're going to have to fight themselves through. And the defenders seem like they're going to have a bit of a harder time coming through here, as it's kind of going to be a bit of a kill box for them, and they're going to be shoved into this meat grinder that they're going to have to go through. But if the defenders do not take advantage of the situation that's being set up in front of them, they will be overrun. And you can see that there's some defenders kind of peeking through windows on the side here trying to get what they can, but the attackers are all over it, constantly shooting fire arrows at any kind of window or opening they can see to keep them away from the areas, suppressing the defenders, which is honestly probably the best play on the defenders. Have the numbers, keep the suppression up, while the rest just keep punching through, getting in there as quickly as you can.
Yeah, they're definitely using those. The attackers are definitely using those fire arrows to suppress the defenders here. They're still kind of stuck trying to get through the front entrance, which is very good for the defenders. If we have a quick look where everybody is at, we've got quite a lot of attackers and very few defenders, if I'm honest. So it's going to be quite a task to hold these guys off.
It's literally a sea of purple just trying to engulf this small group of blue as it goes on. And you can see that some are regrouping back at the base, coming back from either spawns or, trying to run supplies. It seems like there are some dedicated individuals. I don't want to lend too much credence that this is organized because it is Rust at the end of the day, but it seems like the attackers do have some sort of plan. But we are noticing that the horses, I think, are creating an obstacle, as many people are forced to jump over them.
Yeah, I think they've misplayed it, if I'm honest. There's definitely too many horses in that entrance, and they're kind of using them as a sort of barricade between them and the defenders, but at the same time it's stopping them from getting in. Although they are managing to get in now.
They are punching through this currently. It looks like they're just trying to make their way. I can't tell if they're finding an opening to go through or if they're actually just trying to break through the stone itself. It looks like there's a bit of a fire on the side there, and I don't know if that's a defender who's just stuck in there, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Yeah, Vozzy there, he's flaming his way through some doors.
Yeah, they're coming in. They're through the doors. It looks like they're into the first section of the castle, which is those main upfront towers.
Yeah,
as they're coming through.
Definitely getting in there.
They've got 2 more or 3 more security double doors before they get into the proper courtyard of the castle. So
yeah, they're almost in that courtyard.
They are. They are. These attackers are relentless, and you can see even on, if we can get a shot of the top-down map coming up here, you'll see that the purple mass is actually pushing further into the center courtyard, and that's completely reflective of what's going on here.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of, you know, those kind of World War II style documentaries where they show the lines pushing up of the different sides of the battles, and they're kind of definitely pushing their way into the center of that castle, which is exactly what they need to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess, let's see here. They're continuing to push through. Oh, well, look at this.
Yes.
Let's get that front castle shot once more. It looks like there's a bit of some rust ingenuity going on here. A couple gentlemen using
definitely.
the horse as a stepping stool and each other to try to get up onto one of those side towers to maybe flank inside. I think they're having a difficult time cutting through those close quarters, as the defenders are armed with Spaz 12 shotguns, I believe, here.
Yes, yeah, pump action shotgun Spaz 12s.
Just pounding these defenders with these one-shot kill shotguns at this range and the armor that the attackers have. They just can't put up with it. So they're trying this flanking maneuver by using a horse to jump up around the side, but I think they gave up on that, and they're just going to keep throwing bodies at the wall.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing in, these attackers. If you can see, they've all actually managed to steal away some weapons from the defending team, so it's a little bit less even now, if I'm honest. There's a lot more of them, and I'm not sure if I mentioned before, but there is unlimited loot, so they will not run out of loot on either side, meaning the defenders will always have plenty of guns, etc. The attackers, they won't necessarily have these fantastic weaponry for the entire game. If they die, they might lose access to it.
Yeah, and if they can get a hold of some of those shotguns and start pumping through and pushing through these corridors, they could turn it. But right now, it looks like both sides are kind of locked in here, as they can't.
It's looking to me like they're just managing to push into that central courtyard. Only just, though. They're not all the way through yet.
That's really key, though. Once they get into the courtyard, I don't think the defenders will be able to recover here. This is going to be the make or break. If they can push them back far enough, this will stop. But as we pull to the overhead map here, you can see that there's a couple guys trying to find some areas to flank here, while the central force keeps pushing up through the middle, trying to keep additional pressure, take some defenders off the walls, and refocus them.
They've definitely managed to get into that central courtyard now.
They're in now. I think it's over.
Fire arrows. Yeah, they're definitely pushed back into the inside of the base. They're also flanking around the back of the base. I don't know what their plan is there, but maybe they're gonna get in from another way. Maybe they're boosting up the back. It does look like they're laddering up, actually.
Yeah, they are definitely trying to find some alternative ways to go around. Yeah, the defenders were greatly outnumbered here in this one. It was kind of a tough spot for the defenders, I will say that. However, nevertheless, an interesting turn of results, I'll say, but not unsuspected. Then it looks like right now they are trying to burn through the additional wooden walls of the courtyard here, and at this point, the attackers are just going to be like rats. They're just going to swarm and multiply and get into every nook and cranny they possibly can to find that toolbox, leaving the defenders very little safe space to recuperate during all this. And actually, beyond some of the defenders that are on the upper areas that the attackers can't reach yet, I don't see any on the ground near the attackers, with the exception of, I think, Hornet down here that we've got a view on. He's really just trying to hold back that toolbox.
Yeah, they're definitely pushed back into that that grand hall area now. They're kind of stuck in there, and the defenders are laddering up the back as well. They're doing a good job of getting up from the back. You never know. The second round, we might see some more tactical gameplay, such as this, rather than brute force, because ultimately that's what Rust's about: finding your ways around the problems of raiding. And yeah, it's kind of going well.
Initially, the plan that we did see with the back ladders and platforms, I thought we were going to see off the bat. But they just decided to punch through as hard as they could, and until they couldn't. But look, I mean, it worked out for them. The results are shown, and I think right now it's just literally a matter of time until they can find that toolbox, get to it, and destroy it.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got a couple of defenders out in the courtyard, but there's way too many attackers. They just don't stand a chance against these attackers. There's way too many of them. If we have a look at the top-down view, that castle is just full of pink now. I don't see how much longer they can hold off. I mean, there's 17 minutes to go before overtime, and they just don't need overtime.
Yeah, there is they don't need it. They don't need to hit that at all. This is definitely an overrun. They are getting swarmed. I don't think the defenders have any way of pushing back. There's no way they're going to be able to kill enough of them to stop this at this point.
No, it's sort of like an infestation. They've got too far into this infestation that they're just going to have to fall back and see what they can manage.
Just gonna have to fight another day, but we'll see if they can find where the toolbox is. I don't know if they actually know, because it looks like a lot of them are just aimlessly blasting the flamethrowers into any nook and cranny that they possibly can find.
Yeah, it seems that way. It seems like they're really going for it with the flamethrowers, and it's actually giving us a bit of camera lag, which you kind of expect that with these kinds of this amount of fire.
Absolutely. A lot of particle effects are going to slow this down, but, that's fine. It's all in good fun, just part of Rust.
But we can now see the tool cupboard that we've got to get to, and they've not made it to it yet. They're not quite there, so the defenders are holding them off. That throne room, or that great hall, is still yet to be breached.
It is really secured, but just with the amount of attackers that are going to be pushing through, I think they're going to make it in. I mean, they might hit the overtime time limit and just start coming through as is, but as you can see in the throne room was pretty stacked as far as defenses in there. They might be able to hold off in there as a last line of defense, and they may just push them back, but it's not seeming very likely right now for the defenders. Excuse me.
No, they're definitely overrunning the defenders. They just we always knew that the defenders would win this. The problem is how long it would take, and would it reach overtime? And it seems as though they've just got this on lockdown. Like, they're pushing from the front and the back. The defenders, they just don't know where things are coming from.
Yeah, it's all over the place, and the flanking has definitely supported that, especially as more of the attackers got curious to browse the perimeter and see where they could come through. I'm surprised that the attackers aren't killing themselves more. Well, no, there they are. We just saw one of them shooting each other. Okay. I don't know if they're murdering each other or not out here.
There is friendly fire, so you can kill your teammates. But there's a slaughter going on at this entrance. They're pushing their way through. They're kind of coming towards the cage section, so they'll be in that throne room shortly. If we could get a shot of inside the throne room from someone, that would be fantastic, because they will be in there any moment. They're literally on the other side of those doors.
Yeah, here we are at the throne room. As you can see, the front door is open, I think because defenders are coming in and out, trying to get everything prepared as quickly as they can for this impending assault, as they are coming through. If you want to cut to camera 1 real quick, we can see that the battle is raging here. Defenders are trying.
I think people have swapped armor as well, so
yes.
They're using the heavier armor that the defenders have to kind of breach their way in.
Absolutely, they are making advantage of that for sure. The defenders are trying to use every kind of piece of cover they can while killing as many, but it's just relentless at this point. They are all over the place, and every defender they kill just makes them stronger, and they continue to push.
Yeah, it's getting very, very intense now. They're mostly inside, to be honest. There's a few on the outside, but The defenders just have the attackers just have the defenders locked in that base.
This is kind of what it would ultimately lead to, unless the defenders were just murdering them left and right up the ramparts, which did not happen at all here. So as they're pushing through, we're hitting about the 14-minute mark here, 16 minutes from a double damage overtime. I don't think they're going to need the 16 minutes. I think it's just a matter of time before they find the right opening to just punch into that throne room, and then it's just going to be a close quarters battle for the toolbox.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that the defenders have lasted this long. I wonder if they're in the throne room yet. I'll just have a look in a second. It doesn't look like they are. They're still not in the throne room. They're still stuck behind these gates. And I guess the awkward part is they've got to get through these gates. And yeah, they can go all the way around. But if they just hold on a bit longer, double damage overtime, that will hit soon, and they will easily be able to blow straight through the middle, not having to go all the way around the door stacking, and it will look very, very, very nice for us once they start blowing through walls with spears.
I'm kind of just waiting for that moment. I want to just see the turning point where this just ends. We all know it's coming, and I'm just waiting for that. Now, Sam, do the attackers have any kind of explosives, or do they have any that they could find off the defenders here? Excuse me.
They don't. No, I believe the attackers, all they have is flamethrowers and melee weapons to get through doors. But then once the overtime comes, they can literally one-hit walls after a certain amount of time with spears. So it could. So really, that's probably why the defenders have lasted so long.
All the stone walls, yeah, as they can't get through them.
They're kind of forced through one section, rather than being able to just blow the way straight through the base. They've got to go through the doors, which takes longer, and they're obviously defended at the same time.
Yeah, and as we've seen over and over again, once they get into that sectional door area to get to the throne room, they are just getting slaughtered in there. It is literally a corridor of death for them with those pump shotguns. As we can see, another guy just getting lit up here. Yeah,
and of course they've got unlimited ammo on these shotguns, so they could literally just stand there all day. So I think we probably will actually end up reaching the double damage overtime.
Very possible, as we're nearing that every minute now. And the attackers have started to lose their momentum, as we can see on the main entrance here of the courtyard of the castle. It's just a bunch of bags, a bunch of weapons left on the ground, and they're kind of struggling. They know if they push up through that middle area, they're just going to get slaughtered. They're trying to find other ways around, as defenders are now coming back out to the ramparts to try to push them back even further. They could take advantage of this swing in momentum, but there's just so damn many of them.
And if you look in the top right of this top-down view, you'll see there are actually 8 defenders against 56 attackers. So this is actually incredible numbers that they're defended from.
It is. It's pretty impressive that they've made it here, as we're coming down to 9 minutes left before the overtime actually hits.
Yeah, and like you say, they've kind of been pushed out. They're stuck in that courtyard. They can't get through the doors. I mean, eventually they will. Once they, there's a lot of flame hours going in there, so some doors are just going to melt, because that's what a door does. Apparently, it melts. But they will get through it at some point, and once they do, it's pretty much game over.
Definitely will be. And that battle, I think, in the throne room is going to be either a hard-fought one, or it's going to be over very fast.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what kind of weapons the attackers manage to get hold of, really. Who knows? It could be a complete and utter slaughter.
could be, and we can see that right there over the top ramparts, we've got more defenders peeking out again, trying to pick off as many as they can as they're regaining ground in their own castle here. And we can see attackers just piling in through the front once more, having a hard time with those horses again. The horses have kind of made a bit of a blockade for the attackers, and I think that's slowing the reinforcements, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. They're still not through. They're still waiting to get through that one section, and that is where they're getting pinned down. So it's definitely a bottleneck.
Absolutely. They're just I don't know if they're biding time right now, because if I was them, I might just wait it out if it gets close enough.
Yeah,
it seems
I mean,
like the way to go.
They've got how long have they got? They've got 7 minutes till the overtime period. So it will be over once we reach that. But they are managing to push their way through. If you look,
Yeah,
they're burning their way through those doors. That's another door that'll be gone any second. There we go. We've lost it. And they're one step closer to getting inside that throne room.
yeah. It seems like they did manage to get some footing here through the section of doors and gates leading into the throne room, as they've burned down 2 of the doors now, and they've pushed back the defenders far enough that the murder hole, if you will, has ceased. But as this is Rust and as this is Castle Siege, there's only more waiting for them as they're going to get in deeper and deeper.
I think they're very, very close now. If we look inside the throne room, they are very close. They might even be on literally 2 doors away from getting inside. And if that's the case, this could be, this could be over just before we hit overtime.
Yeah, you can see through the throne room shot, and you can see in the shot that we have now that it's just absolute chaos in there. The attackers are everywhere. They're wearing the gear from a lot of the dead defenders. The flamethrowers are just constantly burning. They're going to make their way to any wooden wall, and this flame team is just coming through hard. They're going to punch into that throne room any minute now, and
I think they're in.
React. Oh, never mind.
They've burned that door down.
The door's down. It's the only thing stopping them, I think, is the defenders at this point. They are just killing them and keeping them through, but the doors are open.
There is one door that's open that they could definitely close and slow it down.
Yeah, I will say that's a bit of a issue on the defenders' part. They have opened a little too many doors and left them open.
Yeah, definitely. And I think people are getting confused as to who's on their team. And the team killing, or they just don't care. They're just flaming them because they want to get it done.
I think the flamethrower people on the attackers definitely don't care who's in the way and are just trying to get through.
Yeah, definitely. They're just mowing it down, killing their own teammates in the process.
Absolutely, anything for the win.
Yeah, we see Sin here. He's I'm guessing he's trying to just clear out some of the loot so that if they do get any further down, they don't have anything to restock on. Yeah,
the roadside armor has definitely helped the attackers tremendously in this assault.
Definitely. Yeah, they've still got some shotgun traps to get through though. Once they get to this point, so there's a lot to get through before they can get to that all important tool cupboard. And I believe the tool cupboard itself has got some stronger doors, or at least it's got a few more doors to get to before we're kind of at the right point.
They've got more work ahead of them, that's for sure, but they're so close, and I know that these guys are just itching to push through even harder. And we can see that there's some platforming going on here as they're trying to scale the walls, but the defenders on the ramparts are pushing them back, blasting down those weak platforms here.
Yeah, definitely, and we're... I
think they're in.
I think they're in, actually. Yeah, they're in.
They're in, and the shotgun traps are going off.
Yes. So we've got a couple of different cameras angles in the throne room now, and we can see the outside as well. But I think, did one of them just run past?
One of them
no, they're in. There's a couple of them in.
They're in. If they can't stop them here, it's going to be chaos. As they're coming in with these crossbows, getting blasted by shotguns. I think one of the traps might be on fire.
Yeah, I think that what they're trying to do is run past them and then destroy them, but they're still trying to get through, and they're not quite through.
Just about.
It looks like they're being pushed back again. They're being pushed back into that bottleneck that they were stuck in for ages, and the defenders are struggling to get back through.
Yeah, this room might be too much for them, as they are. It might be too well defended. A few of them are getting through, either jumping the traps or using other people on their team as a meat shield. But it looks like the defenders are quick to respond right here. They might just hit the time limit and then just try to bring this castle down around them.
Oh yeah, they'll be coming in from different angles once this is done. They'll be going through side walls. I think there might be some people flanking around the sides, maybe on the ramparts. If we look at the top-down map, it kind of looks like there's people flanking.
There definitely is people trying to figure out what other ways they can reach into the center core where the toolbox is. And you can see that by all of these structures that they've built around the sides of the castle, trying to get up and over, or either get to the top, wait for the time limit, and then just break in from the top down.
Yeah, and that would be pretty easy. You know, just be a couple of floors to get through, and they'll be in.
You can just see the all the bags everywhere from the constant death that it's taken them to push this deep in. As you can see, there's some of them still trying to loot to find what they can, anything useful to keep pushing through. It's kind of like the Russians in World War II here. You know, somebody dies, pick up their gun, and just keep going.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely getting stuck by those that crossfire in that throne room though, because there's a shotgun trap either side, and I think there's defenders either side as well in the little cubby holes. So it's very, very difficult for them to get in. But like we keep saying, once we hit that overtime in 40 seconds, we're just about there. Top right, we are under 40 seconds away from overtime, where that damage multiplier you'll see in the top will start going up.
Yep, it's gonna be hell to pay when that happens. These defenders these attackers are just gonna barrel through this any way they can. Walls will go down pretty easily, including stone walls. And if we didn't have this timer, I think this would be going on for a lot longer.
Yeah, definitely. It would just, you know, it'd last all day.
I'd say all in all, though, with the amount of attackers versus the amount of defenders, I think it was 56 to 6.
It's currently 59 to 9. So
59 to 9?
Just about 1 to 6. 1 to 6?
I would say a 30-minute holdout is pretty damn impressive for those.
I am very impressed. But they're still stuck. They're stuck on this. Chef Louis and Saisin just peeking around there. They're doing quick peeks, taking them out. The shotgun traps are doing their work on the inside. But that damage multiplier is on now. We're already at 4.5 times damage. So once we get through, just these shotgun traps, really, that's it. It's going to be game over.
Yeah, it's the doom is coming. It definitely is, and we'll see how many folks die here in the chaos that the friendly fire will engage here.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, the damage multiplier is only on building blocks. It's not on people. So, for example, it's not 5 times damage on individual players. It's just the buildings.
But yeah, once they realize how much damage they can actually do here to the buildings, it's going to be a scramble. And I don't know if the attackers fully realize the power that is going to be in their hands very shortly. Yeah,
I mean, if you look, they're thinned out. They're still going through the front. If they just flanked around the back and came in from the back, they could have a much easier time. Especially with the damage multiplier being on 11 times damage at the moment.
The throne room seems pretty quiet here. It doesn't look like anybody's trying to, bust through the walls just yet. I don't know if the damage is there, but it is increasing over time, and they will be getting through shortly. It looks like they're rallying here now, the attackers.
Yeah, I think teamwork is key. You can have all the army in the world, but if you don't have the discipline and the planning, you don't stand much chance.
Absolutely. And in Rust, you've seen miraculous events of teamwork, but you've also seen miraculous events of stupidity, as the nature of this goes, where, like I said, they may end up killing a lot of themselves if they aren't careful, as it's a key moment, because victory can be in their hands, but they'll delay it if they just keep murdering each other like they've done in the past.
Yeah, those flames, they're going to kill themselves. They're going to kill each other, and yeah, it'll get them through things. But at this point, with 18 times damage, do they need to use the fire?
I don't think they do, but I think they're enjoying it too much to stop.
I think so too. If you look at all these bags, they just keep coming back, keep dying, and repeat. I think is it Vertigo's catchphrase? Spawn, die, repeat.
I believe that may be him.
Yeah, that's definitely happening here.
Oddly enough, no breach to the actual throne room yet.
I think this might be it, though.
Traps. Yeah, they're coming through hard.
They're coming in.
Looks like there are some defenders trying to.
If we can get a wide shot of the throne room.
Let's pull that up. It's a little hard to tell who's on whose team right now because of all the armor sharing, but I think they are coming in right now. Shotgun's traps are actually still putting up quite a bit of a threat, but they're pushing in. I'm surprised that no one's tried to just start smashing in through the side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that if we can get a look at the TC that they're going for, I'm pretty sure that is completely intact, and I don't know if they're coming in from the sides or above. If we take a look, it's definitely intact at the moment.
Still in there, behind the glass, behind security doors, behind everything. Yeah, the defenders are just keep going through that, or excuse me, the attackers just keep going through that middle corridor.
I mean, all it takes at this point is for one individual to breach in through the back, hitting the way through. If the defenders are distracted, that's it.
Yeah, and I think the defenders are mainly focused on that first entrance where they keep piling in from, where all the bags are stacking up. I don't think we have anyone coming around the back or the sides.
Doesn't look like it.
No, it looks like they're all just trying to take the most
just coming through the front.
Yeah, which is only just going to delay this further.
Are there defenders or attackers? Are there defenders or attackers on the roof of the actual base? That's the thing.
I know I did see somebody running around up there on the top. It looked like they were wearing a blue shirt, so I would assume that they were an attacker.
Yeah, still got 3 defenders inside the throne room itself, but it looks like they're pushing their way in, slowly but surely.
Yeah, they're coming through. What is the damage multiplier at now, Sam?
It's currently at 35 times damage.
They should be able to just come through the walls at this point. I don't know if that's them on the ceilings or if that's defenders. It's with all the armor sharing, it's so hard to tell at this point.
Yeah. I think as long as we keep an eye on that tool cupboard, we should capture the winning moment. We don't want to miss that. But they are overrunning that castle.
They're everywhere. It's essentially their castle. They just need to get into the center.
Definitely, yeah. And we've actually dropped down to 41 attackers. So I don't know if some people have just given up, or yeah, they just don't think they can do it. But they definitely can do it. They definitely can. It's definitely doable as an attacker to do this.
It's in their grasp. I think they just don't see the path to victory. I don't think anyone's tried just chopping down some walls at this point.
No, I don't think they realise what power they have as attackers with 42 times damage.
They'll either find out by accident or by brute force. But it looks like, yeah, they're just trying to come up through the middle here, trying to jump those shotgun traps. and push up the middle. But those shotgun traps have really been the MVPs in this section of the match here. Those shotgun traps have killed so many of them coming through. But they're pushed. They're about to push in.
They're pushing in now. There's a couple of them in. But the shotgun traps are still there.
They are.
And they're just piling up. The bodies are just piling up. They just cannot get through that choke point.
No, it's too much. I think on one of the other shots we saw some people trying to punch in through a spear. And we can see on the camera shot right now as well that there are some people in the upper levels. I believe they are defenders shooting down into the shotgun trap chokehold there.
Yeah, definitely. I can hear some hitting. Someone's hitting their way through. Where's that hitting coming from? Cameraman, can you find the hitting? Someone's smashing their way towards that tool cupboard. I can hear it.
Camera operators looking for where the...
Let's see if we can find it. Oh yeah, someone's coming through. Where are they? Are they coming from above?
Somebody's in there.
We've got the defenders in there at the minute, but I saw like particles come down. Are they hitting their way down? Let's have a look.
We did see somebody on the upper levels there.
Yeah.
I think our camera crews caught the action here.
Yeah, we've got some guys on the roof. Definitely, we've got a bunch of bodies. So I think there's a battle going on, and they might be working their way down.
We got some people breaking in through the back. If you want to switch to camera 3 here.
Oh yeah, we've got a nice hole in the back.
Yeah, coming in through
I think
the
they've
back
worked
now.
out about that damage multiplier.
Yeah,
let's keep it. Oh, the tool cupboard is dead.
They got it already.
It's dead.
Well,
I think someone must have flame arrowed it.
They might have.
The tool cupboard is dead. That is it for this one. We get a nice sweeping shot from this camera of the castle. Yeah, look at that devastation.
Absolutely.
Absolute devastation on this right now. Let's bring in some music.
Good effort on the defender's part, holding out as long as they did. What was the total time that it took for them to get to the tool cupboard?
We are talking up to 53 times damage. I think it was around 40 minutes.
I think that's a pretty valiant and pretty strong effort when
for around 9 defenders to defend from at one point 59 attackers. That's just It's just mad.
And somebody built an entire base on the side there. Somehow we missed all that. A lot going on here, folks, when you're dealing with so many individuals in Rust. Looks like somebody built an entire home in the span of this attack.
Yeah, definitely. There's just so much to follow. This is Rust after all. You can't keep track of everything, especially on this kind of event. It's, we had 60 people attacking this one castle. You just can't cover everything.
Absolutely. A lot going on. Good effort on the attacker's point. Good effort on the defender's point.
So much carnage.
Solid match. A lot of carnage. A lot of death. A lot of people died to friendly fire. A lot of people died to fire in general.
Yeah, I think fire was the biggest killer there.
I would say in this match, absolutely the MVPs were the shotgun traps and those flamethrower teams. They got in so fast in the beginning points of that match and really just overwhelmed the defenders immediately off the get-go.
Definitely. So I think we're going to find out who the winner was. That's one thing we need to work out. For the stream, there is a way we can get a graphic that tells us who won. But at this moment in time, I'm just going to wait for someone to tell me. And I've been told that someone called Legitimate Pineapple won this game. They managed to destroy the TC. So congratulations, Legitimate Pineapple. You've won around $20 in skins. So enjoy that. And we will be doing some more events today. We are going to be doing some more of these. At least one more, possibly 2. We'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Good match.
So I think we're going to take a quick break now. Rest our voices, get everything set up for the next one. take a nice little break, and yeah, we will see you in a few minutes. Once I
Sounds good.
can do this, there we go. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hello, we are back.
Hello.
Yes. So first raid sim Castle Siege event. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. The numbers have dropped off now, so it might not be quite as crazy, but we are going to try and do a second round. So if you're watching this and any of your friends want to play, or if you want to play, I'll just put the graphic back on again, which tells you you can connect via searching EU Raid Simulator Tournament Server, or you can do eu.raidsimulator.com:28025 in your console. So that's how you can get involved.
Yes, and you can go ahead and join. We have up to 60 people on the attacking side and up to 20 people on the defending side.
Yes.
Those numbers may be under, though.
We are starting in 45 seconds, actually. We're on the countdown. So I am going to jump us into the game, and we will have a look at what kind of happens from the top-down view.
Yes. So if you're just joining us, we have this Castle Siege set up in place here. And in the Castle Siege, the purple, pink, whatever have you team is the attacking, and the blue team is the defending. These purple attacking team need to make their way into the castle through numerous doors and traps and defenders, what have you, to get to the toolbox inside. The one who actually destroys the toolbox on the attacking side will be the winner, and they will get a nice prize. I believe it's a $20 skin voucher, Sam?
Yeah, $20 worth of skins for the person, the one person who destroys that TC. So it could be any of these people. And it looks like they're messing around with horses at the moment.
Yes. So right here, this is the attacker camp. This is where they set up and get ready to go. There's horses, primitive gear, flamethrowers, flame arrows, things like that, so they can get through to those wooden doors. It looks like they've just put some horses around the place on the roof, and they're just getting ready to wait for the whistle to get out there. Seems like on the top-down camera, we've got a couple people just going out already. I think they might have been given the clear, or maybe there's some scouts going out just to see what kind of defenses they're up against here.
Yeah, there's a scouting party en route. Obviously, this is not quite as many people as the first one. We have, as you can see, we've got 4 people on the defending team, 18 on the attacking team. And so this is going to be a little bit more slower pace, but I think that could change the viewing quite a little bit.
I think so, and I think it'll change the dynamic of the match as we actually get into it here. With less attackers pushing through, it won't be so much of a immediate brute force battle up the front. They might have to be a little more strategic here, trying to find other ways to enter. I don't know if they're going to have the numbers to just barrel through like they did.
Definitely not. I think they're going to have to be a lot more tactical. If anything, the defenders have more of an advantage this time.
Yes, less attackers is better for the defenders, absolutely.
Yeah, they can't even really get close. I mean, there's a guy crouched down at the front gate, but again, we're having the issue of the horses. He is managing to flame his way through, though, and the horses are kind of distracting people. They're just riding around and distracting, and I think that's quite an interesting tactic.
Yeah, I can't say we've seen them do this before, where they're basically using these horses to try to draw the fire from the rampart defenders, as there is a flamethrower team kind of just doing the work that they can while they have this open area that the defenders can't shoot through. But now that they've bust through the main drawbridge gate here, there are these little window slits inside of the castle where the defenders can peek through and blast right down. But it looks like no defenders are taking advantage of the situation and are kind of just aimlessly firing at these horses that are going in circles.
Yeah, they're burning through that second gate now, and I think they're maybe even moving faster than the first time.
Yeah, I think that some of these attackers probably know the deal now. Some of them have stayed on, and we'll see if that leads to their advantage.
Yeah, but they're getting stuck on the shotgun traps in the entrance now, and there's not quite as many people to kind of take the damage of the shotgun traps, so some of them can get through. So it will be a little more complicated for them, but it does look like they're trying to tower up the back.
Yes, and that is much different from the last game where we saw very little towering. If anything, it happened towards the end. As we can see, they've got a bit of a ladder strategy going on here. And are they using a horse at the bottom as kind of a
Yeah,
stepping stone?
yeah, they're
Yeah,
up.
they the horses are a little more effective this time. They're coming around the back. They are actually right over the sides here. I don't even think the defenders know at all because it looks like the defenders are focusing to the front. So this small detachment going around the back might actually be the ones who are gonna, turn the tide here.
Yeah, and if we look at the courtyard, they're still pushing in from the front, but nowhere near as much as the back. There's like a team of them going through the back.
Yes, this little flanking detachment here is coming through, and they are just continuing to build and wrap around.
Definitely, and the defenders do know now. They're shooting out the platforms that they're putting in, and yeah, so they know what's coming. They're aware they're being attacked on two fronts, and they're going to have to stretch themselves thin. I mean, there's only four of them, so I'm
Yeah,
not sure how they're going to defend from this.
there's four of them, and it's going to be a tough spot. The flanking is a lot more involved this round, absolutely. And now that they've found the way in, it looks like more of them are coming around the back and less coming up through the front, which is not. I don't know if that'd be the best plan. I would try to keep the focus on the front to draw as much attention as I could. But it seems like they've just found this way in, and they're not going to stop. They are going out.
Yeah.
And if we pull up the top-down view real quick, I don't know what that guy's doing up there in the middle of the map.
What, Delis?
No, bootstrap configuration?
Bootstrap config. He's
I don't know
pushing
what
towards
his
it now. I don't know if he's trying to avoid six up on the rampart, shooting down at
Yeah.
him.
I'm not
could
sure what
be,
his plan was. But,
could be that.
there are
but,
some people taking these long strides around the map for some reason.
Yeah, definitely. But they're still pushing from the front, still pushing from the back. They've kind of subsided their attack from the back. There's only one that I can see on the back ramparts, unless they've dropped in where that guy is, dropped down into the courtyard, and they're assisting the guys at the front.
They might be coming in down through the courtyard and trying to push from the other side, but I think that would leave their rear exposed to the defenders on the ramparts up above. So it's kind of a risky maneuver, but if it works for them, it's going to pay off.
Definitely, yeah. They're slowly working their way through the front entrance. You can see a lot of flame arrows getting towards those final doors before they reach the courtyard. But again, there is someone on the roof, and I think that could be an attacker.
Yes, I think there might be an attacker that high up that they've already come through and punched around and jumped up over. We did see some people building some side platforms to hop up and around to try to get an elevation advantage over the defenders who are on the lower ramparts. That would be a serious consideration. But unfortunately, I don't think any of the attackers are equipped with any firearms per se.
I don't think they've managed to take any yet.
Yeah, so that's going to be a hard fight for them as they are out-geared, but if they have an advantage with the numbers and the height, they may be able to do some substantial work. We can see that they've come through the main gate just about. They're almost into the front courtyard, and it seems like they've kind of pulled back on the flanking. I think they're just getting killed too much, and they cannot kill the defenders as easily with the primitive weapons that they have.
Yeah, definitely. The brute force tactic will not work as well in this game because there's just not enough of them. There was 60 of them in the last one against 10, so it was a lot faster. But still, they've managed to get pretty far through.
They
And this
are
time
in
they're
there.
being a lot more tactical by going around the back and laddering their way around the sides of the the castle.
It was definitely a good idea, but it seems like they've pulled back from that strategy and they're just going to keep pushing up the middle.
Yeah, it looks like one defender's managed to take out the ladders, and I don't know if they've got any more ladders. I don't know if they've
They
taken
might
them
be
from
out.
the base or, but they're not pursuing it, or at least there's not many of them. There's a guy running around the back. Whether he's
Very
a
possible that they're out of the ladders here, which is going to be a tough spot for them, as they're not going to have any other options other than to just keep going through the middle as they've been doing. But if we see here, they are just about in the courtyard. I think some of them are defenders chasing them down, shooting them with the guns. The problem is, though, when the defenders are this close to the attackers, there's a huge risk of them getting killed, the gear getting stolen, and then giving the attackers a serious advantage.
definitely. And if we look in the throne room now, nothing, not a dent on any of it in there at this moment in time. We're safe so far. But once that damage multiplier hits, which will be in, let me have a look, it is 21 minutes away, so there's still quite a while before we hit it. Things will probably change for the in the advantage of the attackers.
Yes. They are coming through even more now, as we see that they've parked pretty much every horse they have right at the front. And I think that they've come into the courtyard just about. And we can see that a second wave is brewing here, as the ones that died in the initial assault here are just coming in. And there is some rear flanking happening once more, as we can see Zacchus X trying to look for a new position to jump up around the sides.
Yeah, and Senpai is going to assist him from the other side. But we're still pushing very hard through that front entrance. There's a guy up in the top corner. 6 is still shooting down on them. He's been in that rampart for that turret for quite a while. I think that's kind of his spot, and it seems to be working in his favor. He's managing to stop quite a lot of players.
He is definitely taking advantage of the gear and the positioning that he's utilizing here to slow down their progression into the castle. He's holding them back pretty well, as we can see that they are scrambling for any kind of alternative means to get in, as the front is not being as successful for them as it was in the prior game.
Definitely, and 6 has realized that they're trying to push up the side, and he's just having to accept those fire arrows coming at him and take out the guys who are scrambling around the side of the walls that are more of a threat to him.
Mm-hmm. And we can see that the rear flanking, I think, is picking up once more. I think they're on the rear rampart walls here coming around. Somebody's deep in that castle there.
Definitely. It looks like Senpai could possibly be getting fairly deep into that castle. From the back, we don't have a camera angle on that, but we will do in a second, and I think he's going pretty deep in with Bootstrap Config, Senpai, and Zacchus.
Yeah, they are trying to get around the back here once more. I think they're just trying to take a defender, by surprise, get some good gear, and then just start pushing through. But we can see that there are defenders that are trying to bust down some of these platforms. I think Hornet by himself out here is just trying to keep the rear clear of these attackers, who you can see that are actually circling around the base with horses and on foot, trying to find new areas to punch through.
Definitely, and I think the attackers, they were limited on how many ladders they had, because it seems as though they've still only got that one ladder, because they're using that one ladder to get up as high as they can and then jumping their way up with twig platforms.
Yeah, they are really trying to find something. It looks like the attackers are kind of stalling out at this moment, not really finding a direct route in just yet, but they might be closer to it than it seems, as it looks like there's just purple all around this castle.
Definitely, if we have a look, they're definitely surrounding the castle. But if we think back to the first game, there was a lot more of just sheer force going through the front, and that's just not the case this time. They don't have the numbers for it. They've only got, as it says, they've only got 22 attackers against 4 defenders. Which, yeah, there's less defenders, but if you think about it, the ratio is in their favor compared to the last game.
Absolutely. And in the last game, it was 9 defenders to 59 attackers at the highest point, and they held out 40 minutes. 4
Definitely,
defenders
yeah.
against 22 might be even better odds for that.
Yeah, they're not even into the court. Well, I think they are in the courtyard. I can't tell because I don't know if they've stolen any gear yet.
It's yeah.
I don't think they've breached that courtyard yet.
I definitely think the defenders are a little more cautious this time to leave their bodies out in the center. It was a big disadvantage to them in the last match, as those shotguns and that roadside armor just really helped the assault even further.
Yeah, and they're still pushing through the back of the castle. It seems as though that's their main strategy because there's quite a lot of people around the back of there. Should we take a look at some names?
Yeah, let's bring it in.
Looks like Zakis is maybe trying to get a wider angle on the castle to see if he can spot anyone on the roof, and I'll let the guys climbing up so that they can give it a go. Hornet is in the turret by the looks of it, and I think he is going to push out, spot these guys, but they're already on him. I don't know what he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, that is going to be a hard spot. Hornet is really pushing here, trying to keep the back as safe as possible. I would say, because we can't hear it on the chat here, but I think the defenders have some kind of plan, or at least they're trying to keep it together as well as they can, because they know that it's just a matter of time before either the front is opened up or somebody gets around further enough to back and starts killing them inside of their own base.
Yeah, and I think if we go into the courtyard, they're already in. They're in the courtyard now. I think they've finally breached it, and because of the such few defenders, the defenders have struggled to keep that courtyard, and subsequently the attackers seem to have managed to get hold of some really decent gear, which is really, really bad for the defenders.
Yeah, that's the point where things really turn out for the worse for the defenders, is when they start losing their high quality gear, which is the serious advantage that they have. I mean, they're in this well-structured base, but when you're going up against wooden doors with flame doors and fire arrows, there's only so much time you have before they're going to get through.
Definitely, and with them pushing from 2 fronts, it's even more difficult for the defenders to hold off on this.
Absolutely. So they're inside now. We can see some doors have started to go down from the interior courtyard, pushing into the central throne room where the toolbox is. Lot less defenders out in the central courtyard, or excuse me, attackers out in the central courtyard. I think they're trying to play it as safe as they can while working on these doors steadily and coming through. There is some flanking, so they've managed to spread out the defenders. And we'll see how they hold out here. I think there's a lot of rampart battles going on throughout the entire castle, and it's hard to keep track of all of it because it's so spread out across these smaller numbers.
Definitely, yeah. They're doing it at a distance now. I think they're being shot at from above, so they're holding back so they don't get hit by the flame arrows. Where if they were in that slight little entrance hole, they'd probably burn to death. But they're holding back, and it looks like they're being attacked on this upside-down camera for some reason. They've pushed it, and
Yeah,
the defenders have managed to push them back even further, but the attackers have killed them off. And maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to get their loot before they come back.
it's very possible. That's what I think the play needs to be right now for the attackers is they need to get some of that gear, be cautious, use the numbers, because even though there's only 4, when you're dealing with automatic weapons and shotguns at close ranges like this with very minimal armor, it's just going to be a slaughter.
Yeah, I agree. And it looks like they are using the castle's defenses against the defenders, as well as building a nice little raid tower on the outside, presumably just to kind of get a higher angle to engage the people on the ramparts.
Yeah, look at that. Trying to set up here using some old school Rust tactics here, counter raid tower, just to keep the suppression on while the teams inside work through those walls continuously.
If we take another look at the overview, this is getting pretty tight. You know, they're pushing in and they're taking that courtyard, but they're also coming in from the rear and they're taking that roof, which is a big issue, especially in 12 minutes when they reach that multiplier.
Yeah, conquer and divide is definitely the strategy here for the attacking team. The defending team is just doing what they can to mitigate this damage and mitigate this assault, try to push them back, gain some momentum. But we'll see here as they're pushing in further and further. I think they're nearing the throne room, and I think the defenders are not in the proper positions that they're going to need to be, and it's going to be an imminent assault here on the central. The only thing here that's really going to, I think, help out the defenders if they cannot back up that throne room is those shotgun traps. As we've seen, they can be absolutely deadly, destroying waves upon waves of attackers if the attacking team is not careful and does not plan accordingly for that.
Yeah, I agree. But as we remember from the first game that we played, this room that they're heading towards right now, at the front of the castle, is the bottleneck for the defenders to be able to just hold them off. Yeah, they can get through the doors. The corridors are so tight. There's only one way they can. Well, there's 2 ways, but when they come down one of the ways, there's only so much space they have before they're just going to get destroyed by the shotguns.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for them. In those tight corridors, the defenders can absolutely take advantage of to shoot through the gates, the windows, any kind of openings in there. It's effectively going to be a kill box, but let's see how the attackers go through as they are just trying to burn down these doors from range. They don't want to get in there unless they have to, which I think is probably the smartest strategy for them right now, because they'll get annihilated. Those shotgun traps are no joke.
Definitely not, and they've still got a lot more shotgun. Oh God, I can't speak. They've got a lot more shotgun traps to come, especially in that throne room, as well as the little bunkers on either side. That will be an issue for them because once they get through, I think the defenders just need to hold that throne room for as long as they can.
They're going to need to. That's really their play right now, is just try to hold back, wait out the timer as long as they can, because that damage multiplier is coming, and there's definitely some defenders from attackers from the first round that know better now, and will just start spearing through walls as soon as they can.
Definitely, and as we can see, we've got that first shotgun trap being taken out. It's going to take a while though, because that damage multiplier isn't on, so. And I don't think they can drain them either, so they're going to have to destroy it.
They're going to have to. That's really going to be their only option at this point, just to get into this.
Definitely. So let's take a look at the overview again. 6 has just died. He was on the rampart, so he's going to be back in that throne room. And this could be it. They could be stuck in that throne room once they all die, and they're going to be stuck in that bottleneck once again. They're all over the roof, as you might be able to see. They're climbing up with Twig, and they've got that raid tower as well, so they know exactly what's going on. They know where the defenders are, and they know where the weak points are.
Yeah, this attacking team is a lot more organized, I'll say that for sure. Throne room still looks intact, though. Doesn't look like they've gotten into the airlocks yet. They're right at the gates. As you can see, the fires are raging here, just trying to make their way to the door. They really need to just punch through that next one, and it looks like they've picked up some armor, some spaz guns. They're coming through here. The throne room, they're getting closer and closer, so I think the defenders need to regroup and get in there. As we can see, one is defending the castle on the inside throne room, but The others, I think, are still just messing around on the ramparts, trying to do what they can.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if Six has had an issue, but he's still dead on that rampart. So I think he's possibly out of it. So we could only have 3 defenders here. But at the same time, if they get into this if the defenders just hunker down in this throne room, they could last, and quite far into the damage multiplier time, the overtime.
Definitely. We've seen that before in the last round. They probably held that throne room for a good 10 minutes or so, even with the damage multiplier stacking against them. It's just a well-defended area. And we can see here, I think there's a couple defenders on the very top towers here just trying to do what they can, slow the push on the inside. But I think they need more guys on the inside because those shotgun traps will only kill so many, and we've seen them use their teammates as meat shields to jump over them to get on the inside.
Yeah, definitely. It's looking like we've got a couple on the roof of defenders and also a couple of defenders inside the throne room. It's looking like we've got Pink Stink in the throne room and possibly Footloose as well, although I don't see him at the moment. He could be in there.
Yeah, the fight's definitely breaking out as they're coming through the inner airlock doors here. They are punching through, and it's just going to be a matter of time to see how long it's going to take for them to get around those shotgun traps.
Definitely, and I think they're doing a good job because they've spread out this defense so much. They're doing a much better job than the first lot of attackers in getting into that throne room, and they're kind of just holding back. The defenders are kind of just sitting back and waiting.
That's what they really need to do. Save their ammo, hold back, try not to die, let the shotguns do as much work as possible, and keep them back and run the clock as much as they can.
Definitely. And they're on their way into that throne room. They've still got a way to go. They've still got 2 shotgun traps to get past. They've still got at least 2 defenders in there to get past. And probably the others will kill themselves at some point and come back in. Going back outside, though, for some reason this this raid tower's got pretty high. I think that could be because Six is on the roof and he's really trying to stop any kind of flanks, which could be a good play to stop any kind of unexpected attack.
Yeah, it looks like every time we cut to that raid tower, it's just getting taller and taller. For what advantages that will give him in this matter. But,
although it looks like, if we look at the stream, it looks like they're deep in that throne room. I think this is actually an attacker in the corner, the bean machine, because he was firing oh my god, that's really hard to say. Firing a flame thrower. That's it. I got it right. At that door, heading towards the tool cupboard, and that is 2 doors. 2 doors to the tool cupboard, and they're in.
Yeah, they are coming in here very quickly. The throne room, I think, is on borrowed time at this point. Let's see how much the shotguns do. But, I mean, defenders are killing. They are holding them back, trying to be as defensive as possible here.
Yeah, I think the attacker that got in a second ago was... I think the guy who got in a second ago just got lucky because they're not in at the moment and the defenders are holding them off. And I've just been informed that this raid tower is in fact a defender.
I was suspicious if it was because he looked like he was shooting the other way. So yeah, wow, a lot of ingenuity here by a defender as he's
definitely
trying to burn them as they're coming up the raid tower, I think, or he's lighting fire to his own raid tower.
I'm not sure that's a good idea when you're on a wooden raid tower.
Yeah,
but if we have a look, it's actually Hornet who's on that raid tower, and he's being attacked by 3 or 4 attackers.
Hornet's definitely been putting in some work in this game, I'll say that. He was the one defending the rear earlier, and now look at him with an advanced, basically forward operating bases. He's trying to distract them and hold them back. I think they're trying to push up the raid tower, and he's just trying to burn it down as quickly as he can.
Definitely, yeah, they've pushed up now, and I think they might have got him. Yeah, they've got him. Zakis, and who's that second guy? Zakis and I don't know. I can't see, and it's quite difficult to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've taken him out, and Hornet is now back in the base.
And they are closing off that raid tower. Looks like.
Yeah, definitely. I think the throne room is going to be where it's at again. It looks like there's an attacker coming for it. But the defenders will be ready this time. Hornet's pushing his way out.
Yeah, they are. They've taken over that, but you know that raid tower was on borrowed time. If we're completely honest here.
Yeah, well, I thought it was an attacker. It's technically not a raid tower; it's a defense tower.
It's a defense tower. That's very true. I did as well. But they're pretty much in. I mean, it's just going to be either waiting till the damage multiplier is big enough that they can get through one of the other angles, or if they can just try to jump over those shotgun traps and get into there as quickly as they can, because they are pretty much in. I would say the attackers are where they need to be. All the doors are down. They are just trying to get into that toolbox as quickly as possible, and the defenders are holding back as long as they can. Yeah,
definitely. But if we actually look, the attackers have been pushed back. They're kind of in the courtyard again, and the defenders are pushing on them.
They are, and they are definitely out of the room at this point. So the defenders have gained a little bit momentum, but I mean, we'll see as more of the attackers die, we'll see another rally come in, and they might just be able to use that to swing this back in their favor.
Definitely, and we've still got some flankers. We've got Nork up in the top of the screen, and we've got Zakis who's still on that roof. I think we've got some flanking going on still, and it's going to be interesting to see who manages to get into that throne room first, because they're not quite in there yet.
No, not about yet, but I believe they have pretty much all the doors they need, other than the actual toolbox door itself, opened and available to them.
Definitely. That throne room is clear at the moment. I'm not really sure what the attackers are doing. There's quite a few of them back at base at the moment, but they are in that raid tower. I think they're using it against them now. I don't know whether it was theirs in the first place, and Hornet managed to take it from them, but yeah, they're definitely using it to get a good bird's eye view on it, kind of like our cameras.
Yeah, very, very true. It's possible it did start out as an attack tower, but Hornet took advantage. And if we want to cut to the overview map, we can see that there's a little bit of a battle going on in the south, with Hornet taking on a few guys, as Hornet's pretty much just said, fuck it, and he's just attacking the attackers.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have a quick look at that action. I think they might have taken him out. Yeah, they've taken him out.
They have taken him out, it looks like here.
It was a valiant effort, but he didn't quite manage to do the damage he probably should have done.
Yeah, he did pull some off, though, the attack, though, to maybe give his teammates here a little bit of a breather.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. We've got some defenders in the courtyard, so they haven't breached the courtyard again yet. So I think we are a few seconds away from overtime.
Yes, and as
in fact, we finished. What?
We're done? They're in?
Someone must have snuck by. Can we get a look? Can we get a camera shot inside? Yes, someone snuck in.
Wow.
Someone wasn't paying attention.
So much happens, and it's hard to keep it all, folks.
Yeah, I know. Someone wasn't paying attention on that defending team, and we lost. Yeah, the defenders lost their way.
Yeah, we're gonna need a confirmation on who was the one that delivered the final blow there. They did we get the damage modifier, or this is before the modifier hit?
I think it was before. I think they managed to. What I think happened probably was they came in from the back, climbed up, dropped down into the courtyard, snuck behind the people who were already in the courtyard, straight in, jumped past the shotgun traps, and then straight into the tool cupboard. I think that's
A
probably what happened.
real sneaky individual got in there.
Yeah, and we're about to find out who. And we did hit overtime. We hit 9.5 times overtime, so not too high.
No.
And I've been informed that Shye, Shyee, was the person who killed the TC. So congratulations, Shye. You've won yourself $20 worth of skins.
Congratulations. Shai, the one that shut it down for his team.
Definitely. So yeah, I think that's it for us today. The two winners we had were it was Legitimate Pineapple for the first game, the really crazy manic game. And the second winner was Shye. So congratulations to you guys. If you get in touch with us, thank you. We will get in touch with you. No, you will get in touch with us. Sorry, I'm trying to read and talk at the same time, and I probably shouldn't do that as a caster. If you get in touch with us, probably on the Raid Simulator Discord, we will get the prizes sorted for you over the next few days. And yeah, it will be that will be it for us.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming out and joining us for this test run here. Two great games all around, both hitting overtime. So defenders, valiant effort, and congrats to both teams. Congrats to the winners, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, thank you very much.